What's up? And welcome to Star Geeks. I'm blasting off. That was not a Hail Hitler, just let you know. that's what
Nobody crossed. We slapped.
We go slap, man.
Slap.
That's how we do. That's what we do.
What's up, Zombie?
Zombie.
What's up? What's going on, man? Welcome to another week of Star Geeks, motherfuckers. What's going on where we talk all Star Wars and all other kind of shit? This is Sean.
This is Lil.
This is Ed. And go Birds.
Oh, come on, bro. For real. Yo, you get just for that, you getting kicked off real quick for 2 seconds. 1, 2, and you
he's in the penalty box.
Yeah.
Hey Ed, I'm happy for you, for your team. Al right here is gonna say the same thing. Go Birds. You know he's gonna say it himself. You know that. You know it is what it is.
Boo.
Enjoy it.
Boo.
Oh, wait,
enjoy
what?
It, but you know the Caleb Bear is coming. Oh man,
Can't even hear it.
He turned it down.
So, what else is going on? Everybody else all right? How's everybody?
Well, I just want to apologize to Ed because we were supposed to watch a movie that I totally forgot about, and
I would have put money on that anyway. That at least one or two would have. Because it was not an easy homework assignment.
That movie was...
It was not, but I felt terrible because, like, I know we left. It was the show 2 weeks ago. We talked about it, and then like so much has happened in just life and pop culture and sports culture, and like literally the Luka trade derailed me for 2 days because all I wanted to do is figure out what the hell was happening. I was on Twitter. Now we just got another trade. Jimmy Butler is going to Golden State, which is crazy to me. Like, why are they paying Jimmy Butler? But I love sports, and that supersedes a lot of things. So, like, I forget. And then, watching Spider-Man cartoons.
Yeah, whatever.
Spider-Man. What's up, Flex? But I wanted to apologize, Ed, because
that's all right.
I'm sure you did work.
I got you.
I'm sure there's slides. I'm sure there's everything ready for this. And us three assholes didn't do anything.
No problem. I'll take you for the ride.
God damn, Dennis Schroeder, stay getting traded, boy. I know.
Nobody wants Dennis Schroeder on there.
I know he hates his life. He's just like, man, again.
He better not buy a house. He should just rent. Like
yeah. It's a weird trade though. That's a lot of shit they dropped off. Anyway, Ed. Well, since you got some banners, you got some news, you got some stuff to talk about. We'll go into Ed's news. Ed's news.
So this was a little sad. I mean, we all knew this was coming. Oh, wait a minute. How did we jump to that slide?
Good
Look at that. Way out of line.
Is that what we're supposed to watch?
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. That the infamous Star Wars hotel is being converted to office space for the Walt Disney Imagineering department. Yeah, I wish the timing of this would have been a little different because I know all of the talk and how it got rave reviews was very expensive. But now where I am in life, I would drop that money like without question for that experience because I love the cosplay aspect of it, the LARPing.
You'll get it, man. Calm down.
I would have loved to have done that. And as I'm pulling this together and I'm reading all that information, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I missed that.
What's up, Pats fam?
Pats fan, what's up?
Yo.
Yeah, it's just, it's disappointing, because I got to experience it with the fam. And we had a good time. That's probably all I can say about that.
So
move on.
Well, what was the experience? Because what I read as far as just how you had all of the cast members who were, I mean, in this case, cast members to a different level because the imagery, you've got people who are actually in full costume, like even as
yeah, like-
aliens, and everybody's playing the role. So it's
Mhm.
very immersive to where you feel like you're actually in the universe.
Very much so. Every cast member there working was, in character, right? There's people that were working the ship. There were spies amongst us. There was all these different things that were happening, and it got, and then you also had the guests that were there. Like, I wasn't cosplaying while I was there or anything like that. We didn't dress up. I mean, we were rocking Star Wars t-shirts and stuff like that. Like, I don't go that far, but a lot of people did. A lot of people, like, a lot of people had like makeup sessions when the thing started to go into their full character mode and were in their characters the entire time.
That's kind of cool.
And these were guests, so like they're walking around in characters in everything that was happening, and it was great. And like a lot of people that I've talked to went to this hotel multiple times. I was actually shocked when I heard that, that they actually experienced it multiple times. They loved it. Again, I think it was, I know a lot of people were talking. I think Zombie brought it up. It was overpriced. I don't know. It's hard to say overpriced when you don't know what you're getting, right? People say overpriced, but the maintenance, the upkeep, the 24/7 cast members that they have going on there, it was an expensive, immersive event anyway.
It's too expensive.
Right. And so when you're trying to pull something off like that, it's going to cost you. And I think
it's too it was too limited. It was too there were too much. There were too many things that like kind of like, oh, you can only get in here a certain time, or you can do this, where it should have been more of an open, immersive situation.
But see,
anybody could get in at a cost, but like
that's wrong, Sean. That's wrong.
Well, listen. I'm not judging you, and I'm not going against you.
No, but I'm saying, like, yes, you had times, you had things to do, you had missions to do timely, right?
Right.
Because the thing is, it had to be organized.
Right.
Because if it wasn't organized, how are you going to get that full experience, right? Like, you can't. Then, if you want to talk about upping the costs, where you're going to have cast members even in more places at more times outside of like a time frame, then you're talking about a ridiculous amount, right? Like it was a very imaginative dream to try to pull something off like this, and I think it was just too big to do.
So how do you think they can correct it? Like, how can that be corrected in
That's what I was going to say, is that could you, now that we know what it was, now this is all speculative, obviously it's Office Space now, or at least it will be, but knowing what we know now, could you have taken that, and Zombie even made the mention when we've talked about it on here, how Star Wars has kind of changed since it was, especially at that time, very heavily focused on the sequel trilogy, to where now you could pretty much cover a lot more. You could roll in the original stuff, which would cover more people. But then do you also take the hotel and just go, all right, well, we're going to make it to where 75% of this hotel is just a Star Wars themed hotel.
But they wasn't built that way. There's no windows. There's no pool. This is more built like a cruise ship, because it was the Star Cruiser. So they built it in that aspect. You can't just turn it into like a regular hotel. It's just not big enough.
No, I'm just wondering because I would assume that a big part of that cost is that immersion. Like when you have these cast members who are, again, I would imagine you have to compensate them better, because it's not just like you're standing at the desk taking reservations. You are playing a character who is standing at the desk and taking reservations. So you add a whole nother level. But could you break that up and go, all right, well, 75% of this is where you come in, this is where you check in. It's Star Wars theme, but the person at the desk, they're just a desk person. we're going to have 25% of it. If you want to pay 3 times the amount, you'll get this. And then I don't know.
I think
Just
that
because it's the cost.
it's too hard because the hotel was small. It wasn't
right.
big. It
Oh,
wasn't,
all right.
you know, it wasn't like a regular hotel where you would get, 500 or so rooms. It's small, and it was built that way for the purpose of the immersion piece because you are in outer space.
All right.
Like everything around you, there's no windows because all the windows were LED screens in outer space. Every time they jumped to light speed, the entire hotel would jump to light speed at the same time from different vantage points. So you're in a room, you're in you're in your room, you're out on the deck, you're everywhere. Like it's going you're going to light speed, and all of a sudden, like you get different vantage points. When you're landing, you can see it from multiple places how you're getting to Batu, and you're getting those vantage points. It wasn't built for something like that. It was built specifically for this kind of.
Do you think they should have rethought it and could have built it better if they would have taken longer, or they just?
I mean, I kind of agree. I kind of agree with Zombie there. Like, I think, again, when this was imagined and when this was kind of, when this was getting to that point, we were coming off of episode 7, right? And episode 7 made a ton of money.
They got to sell that IP a little.
Got a bunch of love.
Yeah.
We all loved episode 7. I don't care what anybody says here in the things. We all loved it. Everyone loved it. Everyone thought like, hey, we're kicking off into this next phase. And then what happened is 8 and 9, COVID hit, things stalled, and things went out of control, right? So once that happens, costs go up. You had COVID. You had all these other things. You had movies that didn't hit with the fan base. And then it became... It missed, right? Yeah. The safe bet would have been, hey, let's go to Tatooine and go original trilogy, right? But for a lot of people, just like even now, we're seeing this renaissance for the prequel trilogy. Like, why not have a prequel? Why not have this in the time of then? Why not have? It was hard to tamper down, and they didn't want to really, because of Batu, making Batu post all this stuff, you had to have it tie in. You couldn't have it all go that way.
Again, they have to sell. Lucas's shit is great. Like that's fine, but they gotta sell their new shit. Like they can't just say, "Oh, we're gonna sell all." Like this is a thing. Like they have to sell that new IP. They have to. Like that's what they're trying to sell. They're not pushing the old shit. They got to push this new shit because that's what their investment is. Their investment is in the new stuff. It really isn't in the like old like Hope and Empire and all that. It literally clearly is obviously Mando, Ahsoka, this building forward. It's not building backwards. So like that's the problem. And I think all old Star Wars fans want that version of it when they it can't get done. Like you can't go and recreate the old shit. It's real. It's a hell of a thing. Like, and it's for old Star Wars fans and fans like us. We understand. I get it. Like, we all want that, but it ain't our property. It's fucking Disney's property, man. They have the rights to their shit. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. If it don't work, then they're gonna restart over and do something else again. But it's not going to be the shit that everybody expects it to be. You're gonna get Vader. You'll get some stormtroopers. You'll get Chewbacca. You'll get R2, C3PO. But you're not gonna get all them fucking aliens in the cantina. You're not getting the band. You're not getting the Rancor under the ground or some shit, which sounds dope as hell. You're not getting that kind of shit. Like you're just not getting it. Although that would be dope though. If they had a Rancor under the Batu and you can hear it yelling and shit. That would be tough. I'm just saying.
Well, and that's the thing a lot of people missed out on. Like there's a lot of areas in Batu that like have these pillars and things like that. And like it's cool aesthetics.
Yeah.
But it actually worked with the Star Cruiser. When you were on the Star Cruiser, you had your data pad, which was your phone. And you actually were syncing things on the in Batu on your day on land.
Yeah.
And it actually made the experience even more interactive. And I know, there was, the rumors were that they're going to try to bring some of that out. I know that they on the Disney app, there's things you can play, and there's QR codes all over the place. You can do stuff. I don't know. I mean, I think it's all going to eventually be more of an evolution of things. But right now, the focus is on building Monstropolis, in Hollywood Studios. They're building a whole new land. And
what are they doing?
Monsters Inc. Monstropolis.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So like the whole section with the Muppets is going out. They're retheming
Again.
Rock and Roller. They're retheming Rock and Roller Coaster with the Muppets.
Yeah, that IP, man. Yo, listen, that's that. Look, we need to take this IP and use that, and we got to make that work. So we're gonna focus on this right now. Star Wars is okay. People are still coming. They're still floating in there. They're paying for fucking Star Wars nights. It's successful. Obviously, it's working. So
a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, it's like, yo, they listen. As bad as motherfuckers say, oh, I don't want to do it, but motherfuckers go there all the fucking time. Everybody's there.
Yeah, it's always busy.
Yeah,
like I said,
Star Wars
I'm just
sold the fuck out. So
I'm just sad that I missed the hotel. Can only hope that something like that comes up again. But
I got videos that if you want to see.
Oh, definitely.
No,
so you guys talked about this last week.
Huh? Well, I was naked in most of them, but yeah.
That's fine.
Just in my Jedi robes.
Is that a lightsaber you have?
To the wind.
So you guys talked about this last week when I was late to the party, but I just wanted to ask a question to add one thing, because I know there was the discussion about the number of minutes that Acolyte was watched. One of the things that they've speculated is, and I guess it's a question first, because they didn't give me the detail in the articles. What's the time frame for those minutes? Because we know in streaming, not everybody's watching it the moment it drops, like we do with a lot of this stuff. I mean, it's as time goes on and things take place. Well, and we've said that Acolyte.
I believe the time frame was the entire year, because they put it in that it was the most watched in 2024. Most minutes watched in 2024 was Acolyte.
And if I remember, that was a spring release, so you've got most of the year for the following and the watching,
right? Yeah,
because
so
there's a lot of
coming out in December. It's just like movie box office, right? Like Mufasa came out in December, but it's still holding strong in January. But the numbers are carrying over into into the prior year because it was a release of that, right? So, if a show is released in January or in December, it's going to carry over and it's going to be counted in 2024. It's that. So I mean,
well, the reason I ask is that there's speculation. They go, well, it was because of Acolyte and the fact that it was not very well reviewed, that caused the viewership for Skeleton Crew, which I think we all agree is the better show, did not have the same following. But of course, it only just finished, so we don't really know what those numbers will be in comparison.
Right. So in comparison, they compare. So when they look at that and when they announce that kind of stuff, it's usually weeks of release, right? So once the series is done, they're able to quantify that number and kind of figure out, like, are people going to come back to it? Because if they see an uptick in the series, like through week to week, then they'll see something. But it's just like a movie. It's like and I'll go to the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, right? Nightmare on Elm Street 3, which I think is the greatest of all the Nightmare movies, didn't make the most money because Nightmare on Elm Street 2 sucked, but Nightmare on Elm Street 4 made the most money, and it wasn't as good of a movie, but it built off of that. So it goes in opposite ranks.
Right.
Pulling the
pull the Acolyte down, boys.
Sucks everything down.
Sucks all the air out of this damn place.
So moving on, we knew at least last week that Rosario Dawson
Zombie Dream Warriors, baby.
Oh yeah. welcome to prime time, bitch.
Love
Rose-
it.
Don't want to dream no more. I can watch that. I can watch that movie every day.
It's a good movie. It is good.
So we know that that's probably if this would have been announced before, Sean would have probably stuck to his original plan of going to
I'm gonna get look,
Celebration Japan.
No worries. She travels around here. She'll be
Yeah,
around.
I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna get her.
But now Oscar Isaac is also going to be attending Celebration Japan, which has sparked this whole conversation. And I love just watching the fires just burn when it comes to the news with this. Oh, Oscar Isaac is going to Celebration. So is he now going to be included in the upcoming movies? Yeah, what about Finn, John Boyega? Like it just spirals out of control. So I look at it and go, no, Oscar Isaac is a actor who played in Star Wars, who has an opportunity to not just interact with fandom, but get paid to do it.
And he's in Marvel, so obviously.
Yeah. So I don't think it necessarily ties to anything, but again, they love running wild.
I mean, I don't think there's any speculation. What is? I don't know. There's like, I mean, I forgot they may announce the new Star Wars at Celebration. So
yeah, I'm sure we'll get some announcements.
I'm pretty sure Poe Dameron will be a part of that, right? I would assume.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Poe series or something with Oscar Isaac. The only reason I say that is because, I mean, Ed, I get what you're saying. Like he you see people at Comic-Con all the time, right? They don't have anything they're put. But Oscar Isaac has been in a lot of things, and he's got a lot of things coming up. He doesn't. Yes, he's getting paid to go to Japan, but a lot of times when you see them going to these events, it's because they're pushing something or there's something big going to be announced. So I can see why the speculation is growing. I mean, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. And even in Ray's new movie, I wouldn't be surprised if he showed up.
You remember Patty Jenkins wanted to do that the flight,
was a Rogue Squadron?
Rogue Squadron. So like that, I mean, that may be something that'll attach to the new films. Like, I mean, I wouldn't mind it, to be honest. I don't care. Like I love the new planes and all the ships. So like we can do that shit all day, every day. I don't give a shit which one it is. You could do that from the new ones or the old ones, but I'd rather see it. You're gonna have to do it from the new ones because like they're just not gonna go back in that. So like I think if we get a new Rogue Squadron with Poe Dameron running the squad and they're all in fucking fighters all the fucking time, that shit would be like a Top Gun of fucking Star Wars. Oh, what?
Yes.
That should be sick.
Well, and again, looking at what Star Wars has always been built on, and I'm gonna date myself here, but I think of some of the really cool World War II-esque, like the Black Sheep. I mean, you could do something like that to where it's that was a base out in the South Pacific. You got the different adventures. They'd go off on missions. I mean, it's the same basic concept. And it could be a lot of fun.
I'm telling you, man, like, if they do a Rogue Squadron, however they fucking want to do that shit, you good. Like, it's like you said, it's got to be like that or Top Gun. Like, you done. Like, you ain't got to worry about it. Fucking Iron Eagle too. Shit.
Yeah.
You good. Like, it needs to happen.
So Star Wars picked up a few Saturn Awards. Rosario Dawson, Best Actress in a Television Series, and Bad Batch for the Best Animated Television Series. And I kind of, when I was putting this together, it made my head melt a little bit because as I'm doing this, I'm like, wait, we talked about the ones where they won Saturn Awards. And that's when I came to realize that I've now been doing this with you guys for about 16 months. Which is I
didn't realize we were doing that long, to be honest.
It just threw me off because I'm like, wait, this only happens once a year.
You're part of the family.
You're part of the Geeks family, bro.
It's fantastic, but it's just, man, time goes fast.
Well,
there's all kinds of stuff because I always like the Saturn Awards because usually a lot of what they talk about.
Are they on TV?
Oh, I have no idea where they're announced.
I don't think they're on TV, at least not that I've. Well, it says live now on electricnow.tv, www. So it's on a website streaming. So,
But I know last year when I think Bad Batch won in animation that last year as well, that I went through the list and looked at other animation, and it kind of turned me on to I think it
That
was James.
surprises me. That surprised me because I don't think the Bad Batch was better than fucking Arcane at all.
Arcane was not even on their list, to be honest.
What the hell was on the list?
best animated television series or special?
What was on the list?
So Bad Batch won. You had Batman Cape Crusader from Prime. You had Gremlins The Wild Batch on Max.
Never watched it.
Kaiju number 8, which I might go and check that out because I usually like their anime suggestions. Here's one for you, Sean. Star Trek Lower Decks. And this is the
way better. That was way better than the Bad Batch.
Well, here's the one that will make everybody go crazy. X-Men 97.
Get the fuck out of here. Man.
I'm a Star Wars fan, but it's not beating X-Men 97.
It's not beating X-Men 97, dog.
No.
Alil, what you think?
No. I mean, X-Men 97.
Snoke, what up, my brother?
What's up, Snoke?
So, but again, congratulations to them on the win. Don't know if I necessarily agree with it, even as a Star Wars fan, but I didn't get to vote. So
that's interesting. But I mean, Star Wars is, they ain't winning Emmys over there. I'll tell you that.
Not at all. So I know that there was a lot of talk about George working on his screenplay for the new Jedi Order, and a lot of the conversation was because he was talking about how he looks at George Lucas when he kind of put things together for the original trilogy, and a big part of it was kind of the political side of it. Now, I'm not talking about the prequel. It's more the kind of fascist Nazis, the Roman Empire, and looking at that kind of spin, or just the way that it ties in, and using that in this Jedi New Order, which, I mean, that's great, but as we'll talk later on.
Is that what it's called? Jedi New Order?
That's the
New
Jedi
Order.
Or the New Jedi Order, yeah. But we don't know if that's the actual title. I don't know if that's ever been officially announced. It's just what everybody's calling it.
Yeah, just like Captain America. What was that first? Captain America.
It was New World Order.
New World Order. Yeah,
and then Brave New World.
Yeah, that's gonna change. It'll be like New Brave Order or something.
So, but and we'll talk about it. Especially it fits in with this show because with Fortress,
we'll definitely get news on that.
Oh, without question. Yeah. But I mean, Lucas pulled from a lot of different things. There was really no one piece of it because we'll talk about the Hidden Fortress, how that ties into the original trilogy. But then you've got Joseph Campbell's piece to it. You've got Flash Gordon. I mean, there's so much that kind of just meshes together, and it's never just one thing. So, the fact that he's looking at what influenced Lucas, I'm not going to argue it. Okay. I think you're on the right track. Go out there and do it.
I mean, I guess they got to use the Daisy Ridley story because what are they going to else do? But they could jump forward to 2,000 years and do a whole new Star Wars. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it could, but
they should, but I mean, you would have nothing to worry about. You don't have to rely on like, oh, the Skywalker, this. You don't have to do any of that. Now you have a whole new thing now. 2,000 years ahead.
And you don't even have to go that far ahead.
2,000 years, all right. But I mean, I don't want any Darth Vader shit. Like, I don't want anything that has to do with any of this shit anymore. No Obi-Wan, no Anakin. I don't want none of this ghost. Leave them alone.
Until they give it to us, and then
like, yo, no, I don't want it. I don't want to see no more Death Stars. I don't want to see any of this shit. Just give me the shit that we want to see, man. Just call it a day. I don't care about any of this shit anymore now because it's getting not. I'm not mad or angry about it. It's just you just give people shit to argue about, and it's just like, God, let's just move forward. Like,
but guess what? No matter what they do, people are gonna argue.
I know, always fucking perfect, but God damn.
This is the new world we live in.
I know.
Guarantee we could have the perfect Star Wars movie,
And somebody gonna hate something.
and people are gonna hate. There's gonna be a group that's gonna hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, we went through Skeleton Crew. It was really good, and I don't think there was a whole lot of hate out there.
No, there was hate out there.
There was hate out there. There was
Good. Well, I'm
definitely,
glad I ignored them.
yeah, definitely some hate.
I thought this was interesting, and I would love if they would give us like the deleted scene. So Yasmin Al Masiri, hope I pronounced that correctly. She was cast and actually played Jod's Jedi Master in a deleted scene from Skeleton Crew.
That'd have been cool.
Yes. I know we talked about getting that flashback, and they didn't give it to us. That's fine. But now that I know it's out there, I so want to see it.
Yeah. We know how Fernando feels.
I was putting that same thing up at the same time.
Screw that kid.
Now we're not talking about Whim.
Don't be you talking about Wim, but don't be talking about Neil. Neil for president, bro. For real. All day, every day. Shit.
Neil could be the new Galactic Empire. Emperor Neil.
You just wanna grab Neil and hug him.
I'm excited. The clock is ticking. We have 10 weeks now until Andor season 2.
Next week we're going to start Andor season 1, episode 1.
Are we?
Yes, we are. There you go. Now you know.
Nobody told me this.
Well, now you know. So stay tuned for our review of Andor episodes, whatever 1 through, I don't even know how many episodes there was it?
I think there are 12.
12 episodes.
I know it's a longer show than most.
I had to speed up.
I know Sean sent him over some information. I don't know how we missed these images.
They just came out.
Actually, they came out in November.
Oh, they did?
But we totally missed it. You caught it.
Jeez, I didn't realize it.
Yeah. So obviously we've got him and Nyx, which obviously there's something. I have no idea who the other characters are, but I'll be curious how these two kind of go back to working together. Cyril, and I don't remember her name at the time.
Oh, don't worry, we don't either. Because I still remember anybody's name but Andor.
But this image I loved, where you've got, especially with the stormtroopers in the background.
That shit does.
Something bad's gonna happen.
I did not remember seeing these fucking pictures, man. That's why I'm like, where do these pictures come from? Like, I think they came from Entertainment Weekly or something like that. But we never showcased.
Oh, I know. I didn't see them either.
Yeah. So
I mean, you sent it. I pulled them out, and I was reading the detail, and I'm like, damn, this came out in November. Okay, drop the ball on that one.
Yeah, sure did.
So that was it from just the regular. What's that?
It looks like, what you think? Thinking about?
No, it's just.
It looks very light side and dark side, doesn't it?
Yeah.
that is a nice image right there. I'm not gonna.
I'll take it.
The stormtroopers. And then, of course, moving on to some collection news.
Look at you. You take a picture of your collection? Because that's what it looks like.
No, that's not mine.
Don't lie.
So, are you getting it, Sean? That's always the first question.
Oh,
no?
I'm tapped out. I tapped out.
He quit.
He's
done.
Done?
I can't do it. I can't keep up with it. I don't want to keep up with it. I'm done. Let it go.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame you on this one anyway, because while I like the
it's sold out, Ed.
The one did, yeah.
Sold out.
I know. That's why I put it up there. I was like, I get the concept art. This is not a piece of concept art that I would ever really want.
It's weird.
It's very odd.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like I can't stand this shit.
Yeah, this one especially. This is just bizarre. I mean, hey, they put it out and people buy it, so
they're eating it up, man.
But yeah, I that $800 one, this is the Legacy Edition, gone. Just like that.
Looks so weird. And I don't know how many Phil Tippett things they need to sign, because it seems like everything they do is Phil Tippett. I get it. Phil Tippett did a lot of shit. But damn, yeah. I mean, it looks cool, but I guess. I don't have any Oh, that's cool. I don't think so. It's
No,
like
No.
it
And
looks horrible.
it's weird.
it-
Ugh. It's like the
yeah.
body horror thing, and I don't like it. Gives me the creeps. Ugh, I don't like it.
Yeah, his little feet on the bottom, like
Yeah, that shit
that's
looks nasty, dog. Like
disgusting.
it comes to life and kill me or something, or go in my mouth. Gross.
Ew.
Those look nasty. Yeah,
Wow.
I don't like it.
Yeah. No, this is this, and that's the thing is you could put this on your shelf, and I don't think even unless you're an extreme diehard Star Wars fan, no one would have any idea what this is.
No idea what the fuck it is. None whatsoever.
Yeah, it'd be like, oh wait, that's a Cronenberg from Rick and Morty. Like, yeah,
Right.
it could be.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Let me build a
So-
bigger bag of shit and then put it on a thing and then call it a replica. All right, cool.
Yeah. You got any other collectible stuff you came across?
I know of maybe some Hot Toy shit that's out, but I haven't seen anything new. There's nothing new that's out right now. So it's a it's becoming like
We're in a dead zone, right? Because Toy Fair's coming up.
But
So
I do want to say something though, man. If you getting stuff imported from fucking China, good luck, man. Because them prices about to go up.
Yeah, buy
All
it now.
Yeah, all that import shit. Honestly, I wouldn't buy shit this year at all. Because them prices about to hit hard. Like anything, and I got something coming in, and I'm scared. I'm so scared. I'm so scared to see the shipping on this one. They say it's gonna be the same, but I don't think it is. I doubt it. Shipping's gonna kill me, man. I don't even want it.
Yeah. Well, they did have that freeze for like an hour today, so we'll
Yeah.
see if
That
that happens again.
So see if that happens again though, because they could do that.
Yeah.
They can do that shit anytime. So yeah, we'll see.
So we know
Little bit.
Lil did not do his homework assignment, but you've seen Hidden Fortress, correct, Sean?
I have. I watched it today. I just
Okay.
Oof,
Yeah, it's
not a fan.
it's definitely not my favorite Kurosawa film.
Mhm.
Seven Samurai and Yojimbo are way better movies, at least from an entertainment value. But I always liked Hidden Fortress as a Star Wars fan because there's just so many things that as I see it, I can see exactly what George Lucas saw and what he pulled from it.
Well, you're welcome to break it down, my friend. I really don't have a rating for this because it's so old. I don't want to like it.
Yeah.
It didn't. It's long as shit. I just didn't. I wasn't a fan of it. Like
it's definitely a long movie, especially considering because this is, I believe, 1958 was when this movie was released, and I mean, it's over 2 hours, which is not very common for movies of that time period.
I don't like it. I didn't like it. But
yeah,
I just got references from Star Wars, so it'd be nice to see what you got from it.
So right out of the gate, as soon as it starts, you've got the two characters that follow through as the peasants, and there is no question when you look at both the size of them, the taller one and the shorter one, the way they interact, it is absolutely R2D2 and C3PO. Without question. And Lucas said, I mean, and he's said this in several instances, that this movie is what gave him the inspiration to do them from the perspective of the droids, because Kurosawa's film was very groundbreaking at the time to where it is seen through the perspective of these two, well, they're peasants, but very low level characters throughout the film. So it was one of those first things that just jumps right off of the page. And even in the very first few minutes, the interaction that these two have, because in the opening scene, they're coming out of a war, a clan war in feudal era Japan. The two of them as peasants joined into the war thinking to be on the winning side and make a fortune or wherever it works out. Well, it didn't work out for them, and they are just bickering. And as they're like, well, you go your way and I'll go mine. And it has the definite tone and feel from R2 and 3PO.
I want to say something, Ed. I love the fact that you're doing this because people there's people that may not know that the Kurosawa films were, Lucas's, um love child to, like, of Star Wars. So like it's nice that you're breaking this down and you're showing us, because a lot of people don't probably know this. So it's like the fact that you're bringing that up and you're showing us, beat by beat, that's great for knowledge of, if anybody wants that background or wants to actually see these movies, the Kurosawa films, they are on HBO Max.
Absolutely. I mean, and again, they're not for everyone, especially if you're used to modern day action throughout. They can be a hard watch, but there are some definite good pieces to it. One of the other scenes that just completely jumped off the page was at one point. So they go their separate ways. They both get captured by the army and are made slave labor. And as they're bringing these group of slave warriors back together, they run into each other. The interaction is again the same thing as R2 and 3PO got separated, both got picked up by Jawas, and when they reunite on the Sandcrawler, it is almost the same scene as far as they're just so excited they found their friend, even though they're always at odds with each other throughout the entire movie. So it's just fun to kind of see those things.
C3PO and R2 are kind of always at odds with each other too.
Oh yeah, I mean they're always yelling at each other.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that. That's a nice reference. God damn, dude. Fuck
One of the other main characters, did
you know any of this?
I knew parts. I didn't know
Right.
how in depth,
Okay.
like scene by scene kind of interaction.
Yeah.
There's a few. I mean, some of the other behind the scenes things, like Kurosawa used a lot of the wipes to go scene to scene, which we all know are famous within Star Wars. You have he is one of the generals from the army that lost the war, and he is definitely a Obi-Wan Kenobi as far as how they interact with each other. And at one point, the general accidentally rides into an enemy encampment, and he runs into another high-level general from the enemy, and the two of them talk to each other, and they challenge to a duel, and they talk about how they used to be friends. And this kind of imagery right here.
Oh, that's really cool.
Because you're surrounded by the stormtroopers. The other soldiers around them are which would be the bad guy.
God damn.
Oh yeah. No, there's definitely stuff in here to where when you look at them, it's like, wait a minute.
Shit. Film history 101 facts.
So the enemy, the general from the enemy, in this case, the good guy wins in their duel. And the bad general, he kneels down in typical Japanese samurai fashion and is like, all right, you won. And he's waiting to be executed. Like he lost the duel. That's the rules of the Bushido.
Right.
Kill me. Well, the good guy's like, no, we'll meet up again sometime, and just leaves. Well, apparently that doesn't go over too well in the Bushido code. Right. So they kind of talk about it, but they allude to he just gets banged up. Now, whether it's self-inflicted, because obviously he doesn't kill himself, which is usually one of the other alternatives.
I was going to say, wouldn't he do that? But
well, he doesn't. But when they see him at the very end, his face is all scarred up. And you want to talk about something that is reminiscent of Darth Vader.
Oh, shit.
So, and the character also has he has a redemption. So at the end, the good guys get captured.
That's tough.
And he walks in all scarred. And there is another character in here, which is the very hot, like the spirited princess who is kind of in hiding. Well, she has a conversation and talks about how much she's grown during her exile and her travels, and doesn't understand why, like, he is such an honorable general and she would not expect him to kill herself. And she sings this song which touches him. And so at the end, he actually releases them and has a redemption cycle and joins the good guys. So again, very big tie-in to Darth Vader's redemption cycle.
Jesus, that's fucking cool. That's really cool.
Man, he just stole the whole damn movie.
God damn,
Well,
right?
there are character aspects that there's no question. You have a scene just before the general rides into the camp. He's chasing down these soldiers on horseback. It very much feels like speeder bike chase.
That's fucking cool as shit.
Yes. At the very end, because again, the general helps the princess escape.
Do they get medals? Except
Well,
for Chewbacca.
No, but just the imagery feels again.
God
Very-
damn. Yo,
Yes.
Close enough.
yo,
Close enough.
facts. Like, he didn't even hesitate. He just
So,
said, "Fuck it."
and this one I found online. This one, for some reason, didn't jump out at me. But when I saw this, I was like, what the what?
Oh, shit.
Yes.
That's tough. God damn. That's
So, yeah.
crazy, man. Yo, that's so crazy. Damn. And how did he not get in trouble for that?
Well, again, I mean, personally, I don't know, but it's only character similarities, and it's different scenes. There's and this is just my opinion, but there's very little true originality because any filmmaker, anybody doing anything creative, you're inspired by what you've seen, what you've done. And so you're going to take different things that you've seen throughout your life and roll it into whatever you create. Now, that touches on a handful of things throughout Star Wars. But again, that covers nothing with Luke because that's Joseph Campbell and the whole hero story. So you've got that aspect.
He mashed up a bunch of different.
He put a bunch of things because, when you take this movie, and as I was saying earlier, you take the Joseph Campbell hero quest, and then you take Flash Gordon, and you take Buck Rogers, and you take all of these things, and when you mash them together, that's when you get Star Wars. But no, it's fascinating to go back. And again, I watched this a long time ago. So to go back and rewatch it again and to have those things jump off the screen at me, which again, me being me, sometimes when I'm doing this, like I'll be on the Peloton and I've got my earbuds in and I'm audibly like, oh my God, I know that. And people are like, what the hell's wrong with him? So
Ed's video essay.
You get a stand ovation and you get one of these. Oh, you eat that all day, every day. Good job, man. So I didn't know any of that shit, but thank you very much, man. For
there are a few more out there that at some point I'd love to throw out for us to go through. I know this was one of the main Kurosawa films that I knew that pulled characters from, which obviously we just talked about. But same thing, I think, again, it's been a long time since I've seen them, but Yojimbo is kind of a lone samurai where you get a lot of the Jedi as far as their style and everything. And it's the same thing with the Seven Samurai. There's also Once Upon a Time in the West, which I know is an inspiration. I think I have seen that, but it's been so long, I remember nothing about it. So
I've seen that too, but I know I've seen it.
Yeah. But you don't really realize it. It's like, referenced from Star Wars. Like, I never think about it like that.
Yeah. So I know that there's other ones like, what the heck is it as the Thing of the Wills, which is basically the Nazi propaganda film. When you watch, I mean, it can be a little disturbing given its history, but when you watch it, you can see different aspects to where you're like, okay, yeah, this is where you're formulating your imagery and everything for the Empire without question. I mean, we know it anyway, but when you see that, it's like, ooh, okay. Yeah.
Hey, thank you, brother. You know what, man?
You're bringing the knowledge.
Yes, that knowledge we need. Thank you so much.
Because we're not very smart.
No. You're over here doing the Lord's work, Lord Vader's work. So definitely listen. Ed did his thing. If you haven't got a chance to watch this, go back and watch it. He did a hell of a breakdown. And if you don't know that knowledge, now you do, because Ed brought it to you. So, man, we appreciate you for that one, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I think we said it all. You know, it was a short night. We can all go to bed. A little, he got to go to bed. He's probably got some studying to do, all that good stuff.
I do.
I knew you did. I could tell by your face. I was like, he needs to study. I can see it in his face. But yeah, man, just join us here next week. Make sure you like, subscribe, please. If you don't like what we're doing here, let us know. If you do like what we're doing here, let us know as well.
Yep.
Try and get them subscribers up. You know what I mean? Hopefully we can try to get 1,000 this year. I mean, I would like to. So we'll see what we can do. We're going to just probably do a couple giveaways. I do have a giveaway I think I'm gonna do at some point. But
we know that some of this fan base, there's a lot of knowledge out there. So
yeah.
If anybody has anything else that they know would tie in, want to recommend, throw it out to us.
Yeah,
I'm always looking for new stuff.
Definitely. Check out all the other shows that come on this week. There's like a whole lineup of guys that's doing shows, and they're all at MegaCon. I think Lil's meeting up with George this week.
Yeah, Hollywood Studios, maybe on the Saturday, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, man, check out those guys' shows. Spice Runners, George, I think he's doing his show, but I'm not sure. With Eben over there, check those guys out, man. They're doing some good stuff over there. And there's some other shows. I'm actually gonna put a list up of all the Star Wars shows that are within the network of Star Wars shows that I check out and stuff that I put on Facebook. But yeah, man, check us out here every week, every Wednesday. That's it, man. This is Sean.
This is Lil.
And this is Ed.
And may the force be with you.
Always. Go Birds.
Ugh.